timer as well, because if I don't, we'll probably be talking for an hour and then you'll miss your meeting and I'll miss mine, and we'll be great
Yeah.
friends, but we'll never get off.
That
So this is just my way of staying within the time frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it here. Let's see, here we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Whitney, and I'm here with the SMO Podcast. I'm so excited because I am introducing Coach Lencia, and I'm so excited to have this conversation. I believe that her message is very, very unique to the marketplace and that she's going to be able to serve you in a way that will really help. And so I'd love to dive deeper into who you are and how you're serving right now. Coach Lencia, would love to hear from you.
First of all, Whitney, thank you so much for inviting me on the podcast. I'm excited about being here, so thank you for that. So about me, my name is Lencia Marshall, and I am a Navy veteran. I am a mom. I have adult children and one underage kid. I've been married for 22 and a half years, and I'm a corporate girly, along with a boss, right? I've been building business alongside my 9 to 5 career for as long as I can remember. And at one point, I just realized that I could no longer identify who I was outside of what it is that I did. And so I just started to do the evaluation on myself, right? Like the reflection on myself, going back to years before when my kids were younger. Like, what is it I used to like to do? I used to love to read books. And so going back and implementing that into my life now, right? Stop being so busy doing all these things and put just as much effort, care, and concern into myself as I was everything else around me. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, we're only in the intro, and I think like a lot of what she just said went over y'all's head because wow, like there's so much just wisdom in what you're saying right now. And I think we need to go back because I believe what you're saying is very truthful in the fact that, a lot of us just allow our titles to define who we are. And instead, you're focusing on more of who we are and less of what we do, and still allowing us to do the things, but being true to who we are. And so, I'd love for you to just share with us, like, for someone that maybe is very busy and just maybe adapted to their title of, all the roles and responsibilities that they're playing in life and in business, how do they get unstuck from that and really you know, get closer to their identity and the being?
So there are four misalignments, but I'll focus on the one, right? And the one misalignment is leadership, right? And the thing is that in leadership, you have to learn how to delegate. And you have to be able to identify when you are a control freak. And I'm gonna use those words, right? When you are a control freak, the type A's, right? And identifying that looks like saying, oh, it won't be done unless I do it. No one can do it unless no one else can do it how I do it, right? And making all these excuses about why it is that you can't delegate, making all these excuses about why you can't walk away. And so the thing is that you have to understand that you are somebody outside of leading another individual. But for some reason, that thing in you feels like if I'm not leading, I'm not valuable. And
Mm.
if you feel that misalignment, then now it's time to step back and say, wait a minute, let me figure out how I can delegate these items to other individuals. Give people a chance. Give your team a chance to work, right? Like give them a chance to grow. Give them a chance to fail. And really it's not a failure. It's a learning, a learning example, but give them the opportunity to get to the level that you are, right? And
Mm.
so I think like really doing that reflection of where it is that you feel like you don't have the time to do anything and making that time, right? And asking the people around you too. That's so important. Asking the people around you because as a mom, I thought I was showing up in this great grand way. And I realized that it wasn't the grandness that my children wanted. My children just wanted my time. Right? They didn't
Mm.
want a big grand gesture. They wanted the small gestures throughout throughout the process and the journey. So definitely reflecting yourself and asking yourself those questions, making the time, and then asking those around you for, feedback on how it is that they see you and how they feel.
Whoa, that's good. That's really good because I think, like, even for myself, as I was listening to you, and I think other people can relate to this that are watching right now, is even with a VA, like, as a business owner, trying to learn when it's time to delegate, what to get it delegate, and how to, do that in a way where it will save you time. I remember getting a VA and thinking that it was going to save me up time, but realistically, it actually made me more of a micromanager than anything. And I think that it actually took me away from what I was supposed to be doing. But
Mm,
essentially, like how you talked about, just letting people fail, letting people realize things for themselves. And, that was the biggest revelation that I got from everything that you're saying is just like knowing that, like, it's okay for people to to mess up and to give them the benefit of doubt to keep going and to learn from their mistakes and to be a part of what you're building, but giving them the opportunity to learn along the way. Wow,
absolutely.
what a big reminder and lesson in everything that you shared. I would love to know because, you're in a space where you're serving so many women right now. And I'd love to know, like, was there ever a time where you felt like you wanted to quit but didn't? Because I feel like some of the people you're serving feel that.
Yes. And I can tell you that it'll come back again, right? Like
Mm,
it'll come back when you are serving people um, that you are called to. And for me, this is my thing, right? In my prayers, I say, Lord, I want to die empty, right? I
mm,
want to die empty. And so
mm,
with that, anytime that I am serving, speaking, coaching, teaching anything, right, I'm giving it everything that I have. And
yeah.
in that, a lot of times we forget to go be replenished, right? So it's not the giving that is the problem. It is not the serving that's the problem. The problem is that we've given and now our cup is empty and we want to keep giving and our cup is empty. And we never take the moment and take the time to go get our cup filled back up. So now, yeah, it feels like, oh, I just want to quit, right? Like this is exhausting to me and all the things because we're not utilizing the resources around us. We're not utilizing the gift of community. And
Mm,
so that is one of the things that I found that makes me want to quit the most because like you get tired and I have a heart for people and so seeing people and I'm trying to pour and pour and sometimes I'm pouring and they just be like, okay, I pour in their cup and they just pour it out on the sidewalk, right?
mm,
And so it makes you feel like you're inadequate almost, right? But you're not. You're just tired and you don't have someone speaking life into you. You're speaking life into everyone else and you expect to keep just going, going, going like the Energizer Bunny without ever having anyone speak life into you. How such? How can we live life like that? And that is the point where we become tired and exhausted. We're not seeing results and it's just time to pivot. And sometimes that pivot is just taking a moment, taking a break and getting our cup refilled.
Coach Lencia, you got me stuck over here. Like usually I'm like nodding and I'm just stuck. I'm like, that was good. Like, wow. Even from the moment you started speaking and saying, like, Lord, I want to die empty. Like, what a powerful prayer. What a powerful desire to have, at the root of truly serving and wanting to help people and wanting to, constantly pour into them, but now having to learn how to pour back into yourself. What do you
Yeah.
think the mindset shift was for you in being able to now, you know, pour into people, but still take that same, love and do what's necessary for you at the same time?
I just became, I realized that I was depleted, right? And
Mm,
depleted in a way that I didn't feel like myself anymore. Like I did not recognize the person that I was looking at, right? Like I was sad. And I found myself praying to God, like, take this from me. Take this
mm.
from me, this calling, this thing that you want me to get me, have me do something else, please, right? And my prayer was like, Lord, cross. girl. And so, and it's funny
Can you
because
say that again?
I just want to be a regular girl. I
Oh,
just want
okay.
to be a regular girl. So, but the thing about that that's not who he called me to be.
Mm,
And, prayer. Oh my gosh, prayer, 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 prayer. And just realizing that I'm not in this thing alone because a lot of high achieving women, right? We feel like we are on an island and all we see for miles and miles is the water.
mm,
And somehow we miss the boats going by
mm.
that want to throw us the food, that want to throw us the supplies and everything, right? And we miss it because we are so absorbed in how did I get on this island by myself versus how do I get off this island by myself. And so I identified that I didn't like what I was seeing, and I started going to therapy even more, like, and being completely naked and unashamed in therapy, right? Because let's be real, there are plenty of women that go to therapy and they only tell so much because they're
Mhm.
like, I don't know you, ma'am. I don't know you, sir. I got to trust you. But being able to go and be yourself, that is where you can fall apart and be put back together, right? There's two places through in prayer and in therapy. Fall apart, be put back together, right? And so, and that's what I did. It's just increasing my prayer life and asking God to give me more faith and going to more therapy sessions and, like just being honest in those therapy sessions about what I was going through too and not feeling like my therapist was going to judge me.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, this is great. I think what I would love to know from you, just based on the direction where this conversation is going right now, because I think sometimes it's difficult to understand, okay, do I need therapy? Do I need a mentor? Do I need a coach? Do I need, what do I need? How do I choose the right person? And even therapy for myself. Like, I think for me, it's always been experience of like asking a lot of questions and then not really ever getting anywhere. I think sometimes the for me prayer has worked more than anything. So I'd love to know from you, like, how do you know when to, get into therapy, when to choose a mentor or a coach, and for you, what is it about therapy that really serves you to know, like, okay, I am in the right place with the right person?
Great question. First of all, I have all of the above, and I'll give you an example because I know I'm not the only person, right? I have had so many traumatic experiences with female leaders, whether it be in ministry or the marketplace, right? And
Wow.
so, Prophetess Sophia Ruffin Wilson, I invited her to come speak at my retreat about 6 years ago, and so she had her own coaching program. And so I go into this coaching program and I really went in really guarded, right? Like I just went in and I was like, okay, let me say to myself. And in the first meeting, I'm sitting on the meeting and one of my best friends was in the coaching program too. And we had to have our cameras on and I'm crying. And my friend is texting me while I'm there. She was like, oh my God, people can see you crying because she knows that that's not, I didn't like that. And so in that moment, I knew that there was a connection for myself to Prophetess Sophia Ruffin Wilson because she was able to trigger something in me that other people were not, to where I would
Mm,
have ran and hid, right? Hid my tears, that I did not hide them from her. And that allowed me to understand that there was a connection to where now, yes, I can be myself. I can be just the bare bones version of me with her
yeah.
and get the coaching that I needed versus, like coming in and being guarded and other things, right? And the same thing for therapy. I went into therapy. I've had so many therapists that I didn't make it through 90 days. Well, they didn't make it
Mm,
through 90 days. And
yeah.
with one of my therapists, she was, when you're talking about the answering asking the questions, right, and never really getting anything, she's non-conventional. Mind you, I'm a whole minister. My therapist, and I'm not suggesting this for people, but my therapist curse, and I don't judge her, she doesn't judge me. I don't judge her level of belief or faith or any of that. what I'm here for is for you to tell me the real and the raw. And that's what she does. And
Mm.
for me, as someone who gives the real and the raw, I need that. So you have to be able to identify who you are and what type of learner you are and how it is that you receive from people to be able to choose the right therapist, to choose the right coach, to choose the right mentor. It's not about popularity. It's not about really, all these other things. It is about who does your soul connect with? Who does your mind connect with? And so those are the most important things for me when I'm looking for a coach, a mentor, or a therapist. And it's just got to click for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think one of the important reminders too with what you said is like, a good coach or mentor or therapist is somebody that is like going to tell you the truth, whether it's what you should do or what you shouldn't, not just what you want to hear, not just the good things, not just, to butter you up, but to really be real with you and helping you, get to where you need to be and to do that in such a, way that can actually help you. And so I love this. I love this conversation. I want to ask you because I feel like what you're doing right now for your clients is, helping them really be seen and be heard. And for a lot of women out there, what does it mean to you to be personally, what does being personally, or what does it mean to you personally to be heard and to be seen?
It means everything. In a world where we're always trying to be silenced, whether it is our successes, and I'll say women of color because I'm a woman of color. We have to show up in rooms and we have to be careful of the color of our hair. We have to be careful how straight we sit up in the chair. We have to be careful of the words that we use in a meeting so that we're not considered the angry black woman or
Mm.
or we're not considered aggressive, right? So to be heard and our experiences heard, our love felt through our words, and just being able to look past this, right, and feel me here is so very important. And so, and the thing is that sometimes being heard is the difference in life and death, right? It's the difference in
Mm.
life and death for so many women, and I think that more women should speak up, and once you do it, you got to do it over. Get comfortable with doing it. Get comfortable with being who you are and showing up as the true, authentic version of yourselves. And one issue that I sometimes still have, right, is shrinking myself in a room to make people around me comfortable. But the
Mm.
more I don't shrink, the more comfortable I am in who I am, right? And not caring about what the other people in the room think. Like, oh my goodness, she has how many degrees? And they were like, well, I haven't been to school at all. Okay, it's not too late to go, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And making people, I don't want to walk into a room and people be intimidated by me. I want to
Mm.
walk into a room and people be comfortable by who I am, comfortable enough to ask me the questions of how I got to where I am so that I can give them that information, right? And we can have that dialogue. But yeah, yeah, being heard is ugh, you almost made me cry for that one.
Yeah, wow. You have amazing insights. You have amazing gems, my friend, because wow, like I'm like I got to go back and take all the notes because this was an episode that you do not want to miss. Like really, I'm not just saying that, like make sure you go back and take away this information because I know there's a lot of information on YouTube, but sometimes what you need is from someone you don't know and it's in the lessons that we don't even know that we don't know that we actually learned something new that we can apply today. So make sure you connect with Coach Lencia because I think you have so much wisdom here that more people need to take advantage of and they need to know. Coach
Thank
Lencia,
you.
tell us what's one transformation that people get from working with you and building with you, and how can we connect with you?
Wow. So one transformation that I would say um, is, and I'll say it as this, right? You shed who you are and you put on who you are meant to be, who
Mm.
God created you to be, right? And seeing yourself through God's eyes. That is the transformation, right? And stop looking at yourself through the lens of the judgmental people and even the judgment of yourself, and just being able to see yourself through God's eyes and who He designed us to be.
Beautiful. I love it. How can we connect with you? How can we learn more about you and dive deeper with you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Lencia Marshall. Also, my retreat page is Grind and Grace Experience. On Facebook, it's Lencia Marshall and Grind and Grace Experience. My website is www.grindandgrace.info. It's AND, grind, AND, grace.info. Yes, I would love to connect. I have a retreat coming up in September at one of the, well, no, the largest lodge in America. And so I'm excited. I'm bringing 28 women in, and we will be transformed by the renewing of our minds. So I'm excited.
Wow. Make sure you get connected with Coach Lencia. Make sure you are at the retreat. It is going to be booked out and you can be one of the 28 people. I'm excited to connect with you deeper. I'm excited for all the people to learn more about how you can actually serve them. And so we'll connect all these links below so that you can get access to this retreat, so you can get access to more of this information. I know that this definitely resonated with so many people watching today. And I'm excited for more people to know about you because you have something special. And hopefully, we'll see you on one of our stages.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Coach Lencia. Looking forward to hearing more about how you're serving and all the great things that God is doing through you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. What a great episode.